Hello and welcome to Growing in Uncertainty. My name is Tess Miller. I'm a core energy coach and a musician. And I talk a lot about what it is to be uncertain in your life. This vlog is my attempt to help you think about those themes in your life, those themes of uncertainty or feeling like you're really stuck and you're really looking for some clarity. So I hope this vlog is able to provide you with some tools that you can use moving forward in your life, hence growing in uncertainty. So each vlog, I give a tool. The tool might be like an exercise or a thought experiment or a perception shift or just a moment to sit with your uncertainty and understand it in a little bit different way. So thank you so much for being here. And please subscribe if you'd like to be notified whenever I do another one of these vlogs, and share it with people who you think might benefit as well. So today's topic is why focus on uncertainty? That's a question I've asked myself a lot, actually, as I've been navigating my career path and navigating who it is that I want to work with as a coach. Uncertainty is not the most positive of words. It brings up thoughts of being uncomfortable and doubting and maybe some fear and worry. So why focus on something that seems so negative and draining energetically? Well, that's because what I've really come to recognize within myself is that when I am in a moment of uncertainty, that is actually the opportunity for me to sit with that feeling and to sit with what it is that I am needing in that moment. Sometimes it's really hard for us to see what it is that we truly need or want. And the feeling of uncertainty for me is the red flag that I need to sit down and figure out what's going on. I need to take a moment to pause. So one thing I've recognized too is that the only certain thing in life, as they say, is uncertainty or change or impermanence. And, you know, again, as human beings, we like so much to feel that things are certain, that we know what the next step is going to be. But sometimes we just don't know yet. So my goal is to help people sit with that uncertainty and to take the time to really understand what the uncertainty is trying to tell you. So this came about for me because I realized at a certain point in my life that I was spending a lot of time saying things to myself like, well, once I have, this job, or once I have this thing for my home, or once I have this car, whatever it was, once I have fill in the blank, then I will fill in the blank with whatever emotion you want to feel. I'll feel happy. I'll feel fulfilled. I will feel like I've made it. So I was saying that so often to myself. Once I have this, then I'll feel this. And after a while I realized I'm not really living my life right now if I'm always waiting for that thing to present itself to me. Well, in the waiting comes the uncertainty, right? So that's one way that I was always chasing certainty, by saying, if this, then that. Another way that I would chase certainty in my life is by saying, oh, so and so looks so happy in their life. I just need to do what they're doing. And then I would try whatever they were doing and feel like, oh, this isn't working out for me at all. So chasing that certainty in the guise of do what somebody else is doing isn't always necessarily the path to certainty either. And sometimes I would place my certainty on money. You know, as long as I'm making this amount of money, then I know that I'm doing everything right. But sometimes, as we've learned from this pandemic, at least as a musician, I've learned that you can't always count on the money to be there. I don't have any gigs in the foreseeable future, so where do I find my certainty as a musician in this time? So our culture really, really likes to promote the idea that certainty is out there. There will be all kinds of ads telling you if you buy this, then you'll feel that. Or if you just do this, then, you'll be on the right track for success in your life. But really, what I found is that I needed to go inward. I couldn't wait for the certainty to come from the outside because it was never going to happen. So once I went inside to my inner landscape, I found all kinds of feelings, emotions rising up. And they were all of my feelings, yeah, they were uncomfortable, but they were all really trying to tell me something. They might have been trying to tell me, hey, that path that you're going down right now, seeking certainty, is not the right one for you. Or they might have been telling me, hey, I don't really need that right now. Instead, I really need to focus on this over here. So your feelings really are such a valuable tool. It's important to refer to that inner landscape to find out what it is that you really do need. So, again, there's really no harm in looking for certainty on the outside, but sometimes it doesn't really get you anywhere. I have a story from when I was an undergrad in college. I had chosen music performance as my major. And as I was going along, I was starting to feel some uncertainty about, am I really going to be able to make it in this career? I don't know. What should I do? So I decided that in order to cultivate a feeling of certainty in my life, I was going to add a minor to my, actually, no, I was going to shift to a music education degree, and I was going to do both music education and music performance. And so I enrolled as a music education major and a music performance major, and I started out with my prerequisite music education class, and I was taking my class, and I started really imagining myself in a classroom teaching music. And a heavy feeling started to emerge inside of me. It was this feeling of, oh, I don't think that's the right path for me. And at first I tried to, wave it away. Oh, don't worry. Feeling certain about your career choices just way, way more important than anything else. So just, go ahead and feel it. Just, whatever. Just don't change your mind. But it wouldn't go away. And I realized if that heavy feeling was there before I really started the music education track, maybe that wasn't the right direction to go. So I decided to drop that and focused instead on music performance. So again, looking for certainty on the outside, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just that it may not really give you the answers that you're looking for your feelings of uncertainty. So what I had to do instead is I had to get to the root of what I wanted and why I wanted it. The why part of that was so much more empowering than anything else. But before I could even get to those answers, I had to, again, allow the uncertainty to be there. And I had to get clear about what my ego was doing in the mix of all of this uncertainty. So, let me tell you first about what I learned about uncertainty. Uncertainty, as I've said, is very uncomfortable. It's a knee jerk reaction that we want to get out of uncertainty right away. And that's totally understandable. The ego gets involved in making you feel this way. Your ego really wants to protect you. Your ego is well meaning, sure. It wants to protect you from the pain and discomfort of feeling uncertain. And it's also afraid of what could happen if you take a risk doing something. And then, what if you fail? What if it leads you down the wrong path? And so, your ego sends you all of these what ifs, and it kind of keeps you on the defensive. But, what ends up happening is you end up getting stuck because your ego is saying, no, play it safe, play it safe. But your soul is saying something different. Your higher self, the part of you that is operating from your heart space is saying, but I know that there's something else for me that will resonate more clearly. So this experience of uncertainty is like a tug of war between your ego telling you one thing and your soul trying to tell you another thing. But sometimes, if you're so used to listening to what the ego has to say, it can be hard to hear what your soul is trying to tell you, or your higher self, or however you describe that internal part of you that, so desperately wants to be shared with the rest of the world. So, what to do with uncertainty then when you're in that tug of war? It's important to embrace the process and not the end result. If you're so focused on, I will feel certain when, then you might miss out on all of the things that you could learn about yourself in the process of going for your goals. So try to put the end outcome, the specific outcome that you're looking for, try to put that on a shelf someplace. You can take it off the shelf and look at it from time to time, but keep your focus on that process. And then it's important to uncover the thoughts and the feelings that are from your ego rather than from your inner self or your soul or your spirit. Discover what your core values are. It could be that you need a more flexible schedule. It could be that you really believe in social justice and, whatever you are doing in your life needs to honor that. Or maybe it's about collaboration for you or loyalty. Or maybe it's about taking leadership and really stepping into a leadership role. Whatever your values are, it's important that you're aware of them and that you're honoring them in the choices that you make in your life. And, again, all of this requires so much willingness to become self-aware and self-reflective. Uncertainty is that important first step in the process of becoming self-aware. If you're willing and I guess brave enough to sit with that space of uncertainty. So certainly, certainly, you can never feel truly 100% certain and secure. There's no guarantee of that. But you can feel certain about the process that you're undergoing to discover what you need to do for your life to feel more empowered, to feel more engaged, to feel like you are honoring your values. So when you shift your focus to understanding your uncertainty, you are basically creating a space of discovering more clarity in your life. You'll be more clear about what you need and want. You'll be able to make more powerful decisions that align with who you are. I found a poem that actually way more eloquently puts all of this than I do that I wanted to read to you today. So I encourage you to find a place to sit and get comfortable. Maybe you want to close your eyes while I'm reading this and just let the words just kind of enter you and see what thoughts and feelings come up for you while I'm reading it. This is a poem by a woman named Cat Simmons. Deep beneath the chatter of the world, enveloped in a rich, pregnant silence, immutable power winds its way through the spaces between. You'll know it because you've felt it, and you'll know the discomfort between this and that. When you're feeling lost and fidgety, tune in. I am your ghostwriter. I am your unseen. I am the instigator, the presence in your being. You are incandescent in your own blackened wasteland, strewn with soot and chaff. Bold as brass among the silverware, like broken shards of light upon the glass. Discomfort is a hallowed bunion of pithiness and point. Our most painful, unbearable bits are the best way in. If we'd only stop and sit, listen to the language of the heart, sit with it. A vast and ancient wilderness, fierce as the seven seas and tender as a mother's arms. Space is full of magic, power, and light, a vibrancy that lifts our stature, fills our bones, a shortcut to delight. Don't rush into thoughts, but sit down in your soul. Let your body do the talking. Feel all the messages it brings. Are they feelings of joy and peace, tingling and ease? Or perhaps a sagging sorrow, frustration, hope for tomorrow? Settling into confidence that holds your heart in place, as though suspended from a force that's far greater from within, far greater than flesh and bone, and far from commonplace. You might feel, I'm not quite here or there, but in between somewhere. I've got nothing or too much to do and no place to go, or something isn't quite right in my soul. You'll have to sit and face the void, face your fidgeting, your fussing, and your feelings. Face the lot. We're so used to filling space that we lose the simplicity of each moment's grace. Confidence grows with awareness, and that's the magic within, the power of presence herein found in the spaces in between. So again, I thought that poem really summed up much, much more beautifully what I had to say earlier, but I hope that just kind of brings it all together for you. If you're interested in doing some coaching with me, you can get in touch. My contact information is below. And you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. Please share this video with anyone you think who might benefit from it. Please share a comment. Please like, whatever you feel you are moved to do. Thank you so much for sharing in this space, and I will see you next month. Take care.